Sorry I missed my own timeline. I said 5 minutes and it's been 9, so I do apologize. That was a long first meeting, so sorry. This is the August 3rd, 2026 regular council meeting. I'll call it to order at 7:09. The first item on the agenda is invocation and pledge. The invocation will be led by Councilman Bolger, and the pledge will be led by Councilman Burris. You'll please stand.
Father, thank you so much for a wonderful community and the community members that are represented here this evening. Ask your blessings upon them, upon their families. Pray that our thoughts and our words would be filled with your spirit, your kindness, your mercy, your tenderness, and your compassion. We thank you for the wisdom that you give us, Lord. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please take your seats. The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. I have a fairly large stack. Usually it's pretty quiet in here, so I'm glad to see people turn out. There's a couple things I just want to make sure that we're all in agreement when we start this. First off, everyone has a right to be heard, and we're going to limit it to 3 minutes per person, just to make sure everybody is heard and they have their opportunity to speak. Now, just so you know, these are not anything, the things you want to speak about cannot be on the agenda. If they are, I'm going to ask you to sit down, and then when that topic comes up, you're welcome to come up and speak. So, under citizens' comments, it's anything that's not on the regular agenda. And since it's not on the agenda, council cannot deliberate it, okay? So if we're up here tight-lipped, it's because we have to be, okay? That doesn't mean we're not listening to you. That doesn't mean that we're not going to discuss it with staff later. It's just we cannot comment. I just want to make sure everybody knows the ground rules when we get started, all right? All right. Now that we're all in agreement, the first one, and this is just the order they were handed to me, okay? The first one is Mary Falls. Ms. Falls, could you please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes. Mary or Maria Falls, 4489 McReynolds Road. Thank you for a chance to be heard. I basically have had several things on my agenda, but due to a recent letter, I thought I'd attend this meeting. So there is the matter of a 30-mile-per-hour sign that has been missing for 3 months. There was an accident, 3 years. There's a street light been missing for 3 months due to an accident. The 30-mile-per-hour sign is just east of the Homestead, east of the water tower, east of Indian Lane. It is very important. There's a lot of speeders. People coming from Indian Lane from 455 need to be informed of that speed limit that doesn't increase until more than halfway up the hill as you're heading east. The street light in question is at Ranger Creek and McReynolds Road. It was taken out. I've talked to some neighbors. They would like it replaced. I've told them they need to address the city, just bringing it to everyone's attention. Then there's the 6 lots on Ranger Creek that I'm sure some of you, Gann, Villeneuve, you're familiar with. 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, and a house in the middle that we can't build on. I did some quick calculations. Let's say that the property value was about $5,000. It's been over 10 years that you could have increased your property value taxes, and that's $50,000 times 6 is $300,000. Now, that's not all to the city of Sanger. There's Denton County, there's a school district, et cetera, but That's a significant amount of income that you could be obtaining if those houses did exist instead of empty vacant lots for more than 10 years. The next is due to the letter received Saturday, and I want to say that the over 350 acres that is farmed, ranched, that my father put into the city of Sanger, asking us or requesting us to mow 1,000 feet on the whole perimeter. 100 feet of the whole perimeter, which some of it is the ball field, some of it is Rector Road, some of it is McReynolds Road, and some of it is just grazing land just south of us. That's what the request reads to me and reads to my brother as, which is not, it's not reasonable. And the Right to Farm Act just has a request for 10 feet. Now, we've been doing a little more than that. We did mow Sunday, some of McReynolds Road, and some things we weren't asked to mow, but we did some right away. We're more than willing to help, but asking us to mow a whole parameter of 100 feet when maybe one of the tracks is not even 100, one of the hay fields is not even 100 foot wide, or it's 100 and something, it's less than 200 feet wide. You're asking me to give up fall hay for my cattle. So that's all. Basically, that's all I really want to say, is that if Noblet or Ms. Hammonds can send us an email or be in conversation about that, but
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
The next one in my stack here, is it Tammy Dean? If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Tammy Dean, 801 West Chapman Drive, Sanger. Okay, so what I'm talking about, which I don't know if this is already actually is an ordinance or not, but it's about putting signage. Because we put flu shots, got a Medicare, that's, for my business, that helps, advertise, lets people know, tries to keep people healthy. And then also I'd heard, and this is just heard, it may not be what's going on, is like to be able to paint the windows. The school comes by, they like to do for homecoming, things like that. I mean, we should not, restrict that. I mean, I'm not sure what all this was, but just my opinion is that we need to be able to let the kids do this. It shows spirit for our town. And that's kind of it. I want to put my sign out. I just had a new one made. So that's it. Thank y'all.
Thank you. The next one is Critter McDormand.
My name's Critter McDormand, and I live on 12061 Marion Road in Sanger, Texas. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. First, I'd like to address a public safety concern on Marion Road. Every day, families, students, and residents cross this roadway, and it takes one distracted driver, or one child making a split-second decision for a tragedy to occur. We should not wait until a child is seriously injured or worse before taking action. Preventing accidents is always less costly than reacting to them, whether that means installing a traffic signal, improving crosswalk safety, or studying traffic patterns. I urge the city to make this intersection a priority before something preventable happens. I'd also like to discuss the growing burden placed on local businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of our community, yet making regulations they face seem to make it harder, not easier, to succeed. One example is the restrictions on feather flags and temporary promotion signs. These affordable advertising tools that help small businesses attract customers, large corporations often have established brands, recognition, and large marketing budgets. Local businesses do not, taking away one of the few cost-effective ways they can promote themselves, making it harder for them to compete. At the same time, we often hear that we want to preserve our small town character, and I agree. But I struggle to understand why we continue adopting regulations resembling much larger cities, while saying that we want to maintain a small town atmosphere. Small towns are known for supporting local businesses, encouraging entrepreneurship, and working with business owners, not creating unnecessary obstacles. Finally, I'd like to address a concern I have repeatedly heard from business owners. They are expected to comply with every city regulation, permit requirement, and inspection, yet these tenants lease buildings with serious maintenance issues that are never addressed by the absentee or the unwilling landlords. Roof leaks, electrical problems, plumbing failures, and deteriorating buildings can make it nearly impossible for businesses to operate successfully. When landlords refuse to make necessary repairs, it is often the small business, not the property owner, that pays the price. Some businesses are ultimately forced to close their doors, leaving empty storefronts that hurt our entire community. I ask the City Council to continue looking for ways to improve public safety, support our local businesses, and ensure accountability is fair for everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tammy Bell?
Hello, I'm Tammy Bell, and I'm the owner of TNT Flowers at 412 Bolivar Street. I was very unaware of this sign ordinance up until about 2 weeks ago when one of my employees called me and said, "Hey, we just had a lady walk in here and say, the lady came in, was being very, very nice, and was just kind of making talk with her, and said, oh, by the way, you can't have your signs out front." Didn't introduce herself to who she was, nothing. My employee still doesn't even know her name. I had no clue about this ordinance. So the lady goes outside, gets the paper out of her car, and brings it back in and leaves it for my employee. And my employee calls me, and I tell her, okay, bring the signs in if that's what we need to do. I'll take care of it. Because listen, this is unacceptable. If there's a new ordinance put in place for a business, as a business owner of this town for many, many years, that was put in place apparently January of 2026. Am I correct? Someone should have notified me and all the other business owners of downtown and all the other businesses in town. Instead of someone walking into my store and telling my employees, hey, you can't have your signs out. Now, I purchased a very expensive flower sign, just a very simple flower sign that we put out in the mornings. We chased down the road when the storms came through and went back and picked it up and put it back together, and we'd bring it in every night. And then we have 2 little foldable chalkboard signs that we put out every day, and we bring it back in. We take them, they're not in anyone's walkway. But I would love to know what the purpose of planning and zoning's idea was of this ordinance. When I'm reading it, and what my husband and I what we've researched was a safety issue. I want someone to please explain to me, if I need to come back and get on the agenda so I can talk to y'all, I will. But a safety issue, just like the gentleman before me that says, y'all want us to succeed in this town, but we can't put out a sign. I know you can't say anything, but you want us to be successful. I've been in
I'm going to say
business.
something when you're done, but I want to give you all your time.
Okay,
Because I can respond with factual information, and I'm going to do that because I see the theme. I'm going to answer some of those questions. So that
Okay.
does not cut into your time. Please continue.
it's very frustrating, and as part of downtown and with all of these business owners behind me, yes, I have spoken with all of them, and I'm the one that told them all to come tonight and to come and speak their mind and talk to y'all, because we need to be heard. And you're right, and Tammy is right. The high school, that is part of raising money for homecoming and stuff. They come around, they want to paint windows. You know, during Christmas time, Sanger Chamber of Commerce, that's how they raise money, for painting windows. I don't know if y'all are aware of that, but that is a big part of the Sanger Chamber of Commerce, how they raise money. You know, part of this says you can't have like certain kind of lights. Well, Christmas lights would be distracting. Just FYI. Because I promise you, I put a bunch of bright Christmas lights in my window. And I decorate my windows up very much. And there's a lot of Christmas lights, and they're probably very distracting. Honestly, we climb on top of the awning and put Christmas lights up. My husband would probably let me get away with it, I would probably put some snowman and some other stuff up there. But I don't. But with that being said, whoever came up with this did not do their research and maybe go around and talk to business owners and really get some factual information. Some of it, okay, don't put skulls and stuff on your windows, and don't put anything that's going to be in the way of people walking or whatever. But I understand that. But for us business owners, it's very hard when you have cars out there. It is very hard if we don't have signs and stuff to be able to be seen. It is very hard for people to see us when we're downtown on the square. So I think you really need to take into consideration that, and this should be rewritten 100%. I'll turn it over to you now.
Oh, you're turning it over to
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
Well,
it's your turn now.
no, are you done?
Yeah,
Okay, well, you can have a seat, please.
okay.
So,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Thank you for coming out. So I was going through here because I heard one gentleman mention a safety issue, and I was seeing if there was anything else. Everything else seems to be with the signs. I just want to give everyone a little bit of background. Some of us have been on council for a long time, and some of our ordinances had not been updated since the 1980s. More sophisticated developers were coming here and picking it apart. So instead of piecemealing it, we put it out to a firm that spent 18 to 24 months pulling ordinances from surrounding areas, and they put something together and they brought it to us. Council, we accepted it and we brought it in. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Were there gaps? Of course. And as staff is identifying gaps, we're trying to clean that up. So if there's things missing, we're taking common sense approach. That goes the other way as well. If there is something that is too onerous, then we need to hear that, and we will at least look at it and take a common sense approach. But we must understand that when we pass an ordinance, not everybody's going to like it. We're trying to set a certain standard, and we can't say it's okay for you to have one standard and you to have another and you to have another. So the standard has been set, and this is a great opportunity for you to come back to us. When all of that was done over the 18 to 24 months, we were working in a vacuum, and we were relying on consultants, a lot of experience in staff, and we approved it. So I voted to approve it. And now all of our ordinances are up to standard modern ordinances. Now, once again, I'll say it again. Was it all correct? It was the best thing at the time. Are there changes? Most likely. But this is an opportunity for you to tell us what you think we got right and what you think we got wrong. And we'll see what we can do. So that's all I'm saying is I need to hear that. Because I didn't hear anything when I had to vote on it after 24 months, okay? So, not your fault. I'm glad you're here. So, I'm not taking offense, and I want to hear your input. I want to hear what you have to say, but it's for us to go back and take a look at and see what we can do. And that's the only thing I can tell you. But this was not just someone sitting down, drawing it and saying we have a bullseye on downtown. That was not the intent. It's trying to look at the city as a whole, all right? So understand where we're coming from, and I encourage the rest of you to come up here and speak it, and we'll take it and go to staff. The next person I have here is it Joe De La Cruz?
So my name is Jo De La Cruz, and I live on 100 Arrowhead Drive in Sanger. I also own a business downtown, Vintage Variety, which is on Bolivar Street. And in that business, I have two other businesses. But I'm just going to read this, that will cover that. Okay, so we are deeply concerned about the city's new ordinance and the impact it will have on small businesses like ours. Vintage Variety is home to three main businesses operating under one roof, and our signs are one of the primary ways in which customers know that we're here. Restricting business signage makes it harder for small, locally owned businesses to survive, and it feels as though we're being pushed out rather than supported. In the past, the city has always been helpful and worked with local businesses to find solutions. That spirit of cooperation is one of the reasons we chose to invest in this community. Unfortunately, this ordinance does not reflect that same partnership. It also doesn't sit well with us and many of the other business owners. We understand the importance of the appearance of our city, but we also believe there should be reasonable accommodations that allow small businesses to be visible and successful. We respectfully ask the city to reconsider this ordinance and work with local business owners to find a balanced solution that supports both the community's appearance and economic vitality. Our small businesses are part of what makes this community unique, and we hope the city will continue to encourage local entrepreneurship rather than create additional obstacles for those of us that are working hard to serve our neighbours. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard Eubanks? What's that?
I don't think you.
Richard?
Good evening, Mayor and council members and staff. I am Richard Eubanks. My wife and I own Everything Gifts and Apparel at 306 Bolivar on the Square. We love Sanger. That's what we're all here for. We have an incredible town, incredible people, hardworking families, small business owners that get up every morning, unlock their doors, turn on the lights, and take a chance. They invest their money, their time, and they live right here in Sanger. They deserve our support. Instead, many of them are being told to take down the very signs, flags, banners, and displays that help them bring in customers. Some of these displays have been around for decades. They're helping businesses survive. And we've all heard it before. We didn't know you were even here. Think about that. How can people shop in Sanger if they don't know these businesses exist? Today, our small businesses are fighting Amazon. They're fighting online retailers. They're dealing with road construction, higher costs, tariffs, inflation, competition from every direction. Every customer matters. And here's the reality. People can drive north, they can drive south, they can shop in Gainesville, they can shop in Denton, they can shop in Crum, they can shop in Valley View. Every one of these communities is competing. We should compete too. We should be making it easy for people to find our shops, our businesses, and stop in Sanger and shop in Sanger, not harder. I'm not asking for clutter. I'm asking for common sense. And Mayor, let me speak to your response directly. I'm going off speech here in just a minute, but I want to respond to you. I used to be a consultant for many, many years. And most of the time I couldn't find my ass with both hands. All I had to do was make it sound good, use the right buzzwords, and I was good to go. These are the people you should be talking to that are on the front lines. Tasteful signs, well-maintained banners, attractive displays, the kinds of things that welcome people, promote our businesses, and create a vibrant hometown atmosphere. That's not a problem, that's an opportunity. So tonight I ask you something very simple. Pause. Pause the enforcement of these regulations. Sit down with the business owners, walk their stores, hear their stories, learn what they need to succeed. Then look at what other successful neighboring communities are doing. Learn from them, build on the rules that keep Sanger beautiful while giving businesses a real chance to grow. Because when our businesses win, Sanger wins. When shoppers stop here, Sanger wins. When families spend locally, Sanger wins. When businesses grow, we all win. Sanger is standing at the doorstep of a tremendous growth opportunity. We have the opportunity that communities can only dream about. Let's not miss it. Let's build the city that welcomes entrepreneurs. Let's build a city where businesses want to invest. Let's build a city where shoppers want to shop. Let's build a city that believes in success, and let's do it together. Let's make Sanger great again. Thank you, and God bless the city of Sanger.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Sally? Is it Amendola?
Yep.
All right.
My name is Sally Amendola. I live at 5004 Lake Park Drive in Sanger. Mr. Mayor, council members, staff, I'm also here to speak on the flag and window painting ordinances. I'm not a business owner. I'm a citizen. I'm a concerned citizen. When we moved here a little over 8 years ago, we were struck by the beauty and charm of the square. However, it was difficult to tell which businesses were open and where the businesses were. Time has passed, more businesses have opened. When someone goes to the square, especially someone new to the area, there were cheerful flags that once stood and seemed to be waving hello and come in. Now they're gone, and this is sad. I believe there is an ordinance against it, but I would ask council to reconsider. In addition, the painting of windows at certain times in seasons such as homecoming, Halloween, Christmas, etc., made businesses more inviting and cheerful. There's an ordinance against this as well. I would ask council to reconsider this ordinance. The question in my mind is, does council want our downtown to look cheerful and inviting and to thrive? Surely you do. It is my heartfelt hope that some future agreement can be reached so that downtown can once again give the message that the square in Sanger is open for business. Thank you for listening to my remarks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Springer?
I'm Liz Springer, live over at 802 North Keaton Road, and we are small business owners ourselves. We own Springer Properties, Springer Family Rentals. I want to address the importance, not only in Sanger, but in America, of small businesses. They're the backbone of our nation. They really are. Read the Kiplinger report. Read the New York Times. Read any publication that talks about businesses, and you'll find that. Many small business owners have built something from nothing, brick by brick. Do our small businesses fuel our economy and define our community here in Sanger? Or are they being pushed out? If we read it all, we know the importance of small businesses. Many small businesses in our community support local schools. They donate to local fundraisers. They host events that unite people. Read and you'll find that they support our community a lot more than large corporations do. If you think about it, these people turn dreams into storefronts and empty lots into landmarks. Think about our farmers market. That was a dream, and it's reality thanks to you. Keep our dreams alive. We are small business owners. We know what it feels like to accomplish a dream. As a family, we have always supported small businesses. Some people that rent from us can tell you that we have never gone up on their rent. Some in the downtown area have had the same rent for 10 to 12 years. Granted, few make it that long. John has lived here almost all of his life, and I've been here 36 years now. We have seen a lot of dreamers come and go. We have been in shoes that worked 14 to 15 hours a day. We have. If you know us over the years, we've worked hard. And we've loved every minute of it, as these people sitting behind me that are talking about the ordinances love what they do. Whether you believe it or not, we do care about Sanger and their fabric of this very special town. Please, please, we've gotten, I think, 7 of these or so, just for our information. You know, at first we didn't know when we got the letter, are we supposed to go black out that sign as landlords? Are we supposed to go take down that sign as landlords? We didn't know. It didn't say. And it didn't specifically even say what the violation was. It's very general. Every single 7 letters that we have gotten said exactly the same thing. You know, where do I need to go to find out what it is that's wrong on that building? Yes, I have a picture. Is it Babes written or printed on the brick that needs to be blacked out? Is it the temporary sign up there that says we're now open on Sunday nights? Or we're now open on Fridays for lunch? I would have never known if it hadn't been for the sign. Now, I did call Shelley today and I did talk to her about some of this. Very informative. I didn't know you needed to get a permit to put a temporary sign. If you put it up on the 1st of August, it must be down by the 31st. If you put it up on the 15th of August, it must be down by the 31st of August. I did find that out. And that was great information. I hope the Club Car Wash is following this same ordinance, because there's no less than about 20, and they were up in the month of July, and they are up in the month of August. Go by there. I went and got a $1 car wash. I love that. That advertisement pulled me right in, and probably will pull me into a monthly subscription, because it's a good deal. But I wouldn't have known about it had I not seen the sign. So, you know, doesn't matter what it is, if it's a painted sign, a rolling sign, a banner sign. I just think that we need to think about those ordinances and involve these people in making decisions that so affect them. One sign out, one banner could pull 2 or 3 more customers in, like that one at Club Car Wash pulled me in. We can make a difference. My family and I will drive an extra hour to get home from somewhere to eat right here at a local business. We do it all the time. We say it's 1 o'clock. Okay, let's just go home and eat. Let's support our town. And I hope you do that too. I hope you do. And I hope you walk in all of these businesses, at least on a weekly basis. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nancy?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, Mr. Notley. My name is Nancy McAllister. I live at 22 Kramer Lane, and I own Gypsy Cowgirl, the hot pink store next to Babes. And I'm a proud tenant of the Springers for 14 years. In that time, I've seen many stores come and go. Many left because of lack of traffic, some due to poor management, some because their offerings didn't meet the demands of the moment. But every single new beginning was met with enthusiasm and high hopes. In our current downtown community, which is pretty solid right now, it's almost the best I've ever seen in all of this time, we have been battling lower customer numbers due to traffic constraints. And so we've been doing what we can to show that we're open for business and that Sanger Square is a fun place to spend time. To that end, we have put up feather signs, outside lights, sandwich boards, and so on. And in our view, none of that was inconsistent either with good taste or what other cities and towns are doing. We are just trying to survive. And in our view, we are supporting Sanger to our best ability. That is why we were shocked to receive the notice 2 weeks ago or so that we're required. And you know what? I never got a notice. And no lady visited my store. I heard about it from my friend Joanne. So just to let you know that. We were shocked to receive the notice that we were required to basically disappear into the woodwork. And then a letter received Saturday from, that Liz got, the letter mandated that everything be gone by tomorrow. If the city council wants to clear retail and services out of the downtown area, this strict code is the perfect way to do it. We will simply shrivel up and then disappear. Please let us know the reasoning behind this mandate so we will know how to proceed. We need your support to stay open. That support looks like enabling us to maintain our signage. And we would also request that you all shop in our stores. I don't know most of you. I know you because you come in our store to get some, yeah. But, and thank you for that. We
You
need
don't
your
know me,
support.
Nancy?
Huh?
You don't know me.
No, you even brought in some new customers the other day.
You're on the record.
I know. Good job, Gary. So we need your support to stay open. We appreciate the city and the EDC's recent support with the billboards, the facade grants, and the custom videos. So thank you so much for that. But we ask that you either abandon the current code or restructure it to be more lenient and business friendly. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone, these are only the forms I received. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward and speak? Come on, come on. If, before you leave, if you could fill out a form and give it to the city secretary, she would appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And could you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, sir. My name is Lorenzo, but everybody calls me Spanky. I was
Say that again?
Spanky.
All right.
I was born and raised in Sanger, so I've been here probably more than anybody in here probably. But I live in 2508 Cato Trail, Sanger, Texas. So I would just, I don't do too much talking, so I would just, now that I'm a small little business owner, I'm learning all the stuff that goes on. And so like the other day, I had one of my old cars outside and they made me move it, but I had a sign on it. And that's the only way we can get people to come into our store. Well, they told us that we had to move it and can't have no signs on the cars either. So that's why I was just kind of wanted to know why, it's kind of like they say, it's hard to get people to come to our store. They don't know who's out there. And I'm the type of person that I want Sanger to succeed because, I've been here all my life. I was a fireman here. I did a lot of stuff for the community. And so I just want to see Sanger do good. And I want to see all these people behind me succeed. And so I just want to see Sanger come. And, we see all these other little towns that people come from everywhere, and that's what we want to see in Sanger. And I've always wanted to know why Sanger businesses don't succeed downtown. They come in and then they leave. They come, and I've been here since the 70s, and I've seen that all my life, so I want to see Sanger and like the city work together, and let's make it good. Let's make downtown beautiful again, let's get more businesses downtown. A lot of these people don't have the money like Whataburger and McDonald's, and we don't have that kind of money. We can't afford a $10,000 sign on top of the building, so that's why we have our little bitty signs and everything to attract people to come in, so that's why we do our best to do what we can to bring people in. But I wish the city would get together with the small businesses and let's get the downtown beautiful again, so that's all I had to say. I'm sorry, I get nervous, but thank you for, I gotta sign that paper.
No, but you kept it 3 minutes, you're fine. Thank you. Hey, two things I'd like to leave you with very quickly, and once again, factual. There's 2 documents I would encourage you all to look at. One of them is our 2040 plan, where it was the community that came together over a period of approximately a year, and there is a pod concept with that. So you'll see circles on a map. So where you have Tom Thumb and that commercial, that is a circle, and it has its own identity. There's another one, Future, out in Bolivar. It's going to have its own identity. There's one out at the lake, and there's a few others. There's also one downtown. And I say that because the other document I want you to look at, the council has approved the Economic Development Committee's strategic plan, 5-year. And one of the key issues in there is the downtown being the crown jewel and something that it's unique to us and we need to take advantage of. Look at that, because it also recommends the downtown association, revitalizing that for your input collectively to help identify, shape the identity of how you want downtown to look. I have a vision, he has a vision, everybody here has a vision, but your vision matters more than ours. We're just the one that raises our hand and vote on it. So I encourage you to get with Ms. Bradshaw and look at that plan and look what the city is trying to push your way to get feedback for us to shape it, all right? There's other things the city's doing down there. We have the future park, a lot of capital invested there. There's a lot of money that is going to be driven down there. We don't bring people in your doors, but if there's an opportunity to have an attraction that brings them downtown, should be the most you really want government getting involved in, right? If we have a draw down there to get people downtown, and they're coming and walking by your stores, then that's for you all to get them in there and show them what you have. I got you. So, did you need to come up to the podium?
I would like to say one thing, yes. And
Okay.
on the ordinance, if all of you will look at the ordinance a little closer. Sorry.
Yeah.
On that ordinance, it does allow you to have those folded chalkboard signs.
Okay, can I stop you right there?
Yes.
We're not going to talk about the ordinance right here. I
Okay,
know that's
well,
what it
I'm
is.
just trying to let them know.
No, but that, okay.
Okay, well, I'll let y'all know.
No, please, ma'am. That's one of the violations when you're talking that. If you're talking to us, talk to us.
Okay.
But if you're saying something about the ordinance, we can't discuss that.
Okay, well, that's what I'm trying, so why can't I say that?
You can say it, but we can't discuss it with you. But
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to say that. You don't have to discuss it. But what I'm trying to say about that ordinance is, there's one part of that ordinance that they probably do not know is that there's one part of it, you can use those little open chalkboard signs as long as they're not in the pathway of anyone walking. If anyone wants to look at the ordinance in depth, you can use those. You just cannot use one of your open flags.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Ritter, you had one other thing?
If we're so focused on 2040, how many of these businesses will be here by then if these ordinances stand? That's all I have to say.
Okay. Okay, this will be the last one. I was just simply trying to direct you to some things that gives you an idea where we're coming from. Now, usually when there's a disconnect, I'm talking, I would say there's usually a communication gap, either a breakdown on your part, my part, or a combination of the two. So I think a lot of this can be resolved, but this has been one way. This has been the city putting an ordinance in place. Now we're getting feedback. This is the process. Now it's time for us to talk to staff and see, are there common sense solutions or not? Do we repeal it or not? This is the process. So you've seen the ordinance that we adopted. We own that. Now we're getting your feedback. Now it's time to discuss that, but not here. This is what happens after the meeting, just so we're clear. All right? All right, because I think you all know we could be here all night, couldn't we? Yeah. So, if there's no one else coming forward, no one that has not spoken yet, going once, twice, sold, we're closed, right? All right. But I will tell you before everybody leaves, because you don't want to hear for the boring business, I want to thank every one of you for coming out here tonight, because once again, if
This is what we need.
when we do things in a vacuum, this is what we're going to get sometimes. All right, so I appreciate your input, and it will be taken for consideration, I promise you.
You don't know what's a miss if you don't know what's
All right, I am going to close the citizens' comment. The next item on the agenda is special presentation and announcement. And if you want to know something about one of our stellar, outstanding city employees, then stick around and listen to this. All right, the next item on the agenda is a recognition of Ryan Wellborn. And I'd like to take just a moment to read, to give everybody a little bit of background, and then we have an award for him. So we are pleased to recognize Ryan Wellborn for an outstanding achievement in the water utility profession. Ryan began working at the wastewater treatment plant in January 2016 as an unlicensed operator during a particularly difficult time. Due to various factors, meeting the monthly permit parameters was a constant challenge. In April 2017, the city contracted with Felix Construction Company to perform a major rehabilitation of the plant. And that same year, Ryan obtained his Class C wastewater treatment license. As the plant rehabilitation progressed, Ryan took over the day-to-day process control and laboratory sampling for the plant under the guidance of the plant supervisor. Ryan has continued to progress in his knowledge of the wastewater treatment process and has also diligently sought to be the best operator he can be each day. He is a double AA operator in water and wastewater, and the wastewater treatment plant is consistently meeting all permit parameters. He is also currently seeking his bachelor's degree in public administration. Ryan is a dedicated professional who spends countless hours ensuring the highest production of treatment and public service. Ryan has been named the Texas Water Utilities Association statewide Operator of the Year for municipalities with a population of 1,000 to 10,000. This prestigious award recognizes water and wastewater professionals who demonstrate exceptional professionalism, dedication, and service to their utility and community. Recipients are selected based on their notable achievements, involvement in local organizations, and efforts to promote public education. Ryan's selection is a testament to his commitment to going above and beyond in his profession and to providing exemplary service to our community. Please join me in congratulating Ryan Wellborn on his well-deserved recognition as the Texas Water Utilities Association statewide Operator of the Year. Okay. Very nice.
Job, Ryan.
Council, I come up here and get a photo. And Ryan, you don't have to stick around. I'm not going to take the award back. If you need to go, you can go. All right, on to the rest of the business. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Council, a reminder, if there's anything you have questions about or anything you'd like to remove, we can do it at this time. Otherwise, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull consent agenda 8, consideration possible action regarding Alter Intentions Car and Truck special event permit to allow alcohol consumption at the event during downtown on September 6th.
Okay.
I'd like to accuse myself from that.
Okay, but stay here. Let's see if there's anything else. What about items 3 through 7? Any issues? If there's no issues, I'll entertain a motion for 3 through 7.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve consent agenda items 3 through 7 as presented.
We have a motion. by
I'll
Councilman
second
Gann.
it.
We have a second. Councilman Bolger. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Carries unanimously, 4-0. Thank you. And you're pulling out them, and you're going to recuse yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me just a minute to walk out.
No worries. So Councilman Burris told me he was going to recuse himself because he's one of the sponsors of this event. So any discussions from anyone else on council? You have any issues with it at all?
No, I have no issues. We've dealt with them before, so I have no issues. Everything looks good here.
Okay. I have a couple, just to make sure. I've done this in the past, and we'll do it again. And really, it goes back to the heart of everything council put in place. We wanted to make sure there were proper safety concerns. Is it going to be roped off, cordoned off, and really cordoned off security, and then controlling of the sales? I think another one, if it's on the streets, we required that they had plastic containers versus glass. And so I just want to confirm for the record, all of those are in place. Okay. I don't get into the TABC because TABC has a whole lot stricter requirements than we do, and usually people are not going to jeopardize their entire license over an event, so they usually have that covered. Okay, so everything's good from staff's point of view? Okay. Council, what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion that we approve consent agenda number 8 as presented.
We have a motion by Councilman Gann. Here a second.
I second.
And we have a second from Councilwoman Tisdale. Sorry, I'm writing notes.
You're fine.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. It passes 3-0 unanimously. Okay. Lieutenant Lewis? Lewis. Could you ask Councilman Burris to come back in? And Ramey, as soon as he gets in here, we'll get started on the next item.
I'll be there before we finish.
See,
I just like the sound effect.
all right, moving on to the agenda, item number 9, conduct a public hearing on a request for a specific use permit, SUP, for a sports field for approximately 9.602 acres of land described as Rangers Elite Fields Edition, Block A, Lot 1, within the city of Sanger, and generally located approximately 490 feet southwest of the intersection of FM 455 and Union Hill Road. We'll open the public hearing at 8:08.
Mayor, Council, this is for the construction of a sports field. What they're wanting to do is utilize this almost 10 acres to do cricket fields, soccer fields, mainly for practice, but they would hold some games. This is located out on Union Hill. The neighboring properties around it are, you can see on the location map, Denton County's yard, and then also a trucking company right beside it. Then there's open land beside it, and then across from it is mini storage unit and open land.
Just trying to get an idea. So is Mercer Dirt Works, is this over here to the right?
Yes, this
Okay, all right.
is Mercer Dirt Works.
All right, just trying to get an idea of exactly where it's at. Thank you.
That other road's a dirt road.
Yes.
So
What is it zoned right now?
Yep, we'll go through everything when we open it up. We'll get to that.
So we did mail out 5 notices on this. We didn't get any mailed notices back. We did get 1 phone call back in opposition, in verbal opposition. The Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval on it with the suggestion to you guys that there's a 5-year expiration.
Okay? Anything else to add, Raymond?
Nope.
Okay.
It's a fairly simple project. I'll show you the site layout so that you can see it as well. It'll be 2 fields, the 2 round fields
Okay.
that you see. There'll be a parking lot and bathrooms.
Okay, if nothing else from staff, then I'll open it up for the public. Anyone wishing to come forward to speak for or against this item, please come forward now.
Is it allowable to just ask a quick question?
We're going to ask questions after this. This is either you're for it or against it. And we're going to ask a whole bunch of questions, I promise you. Not seeing anybody come forward, I'll close the public hearing at 8:10. Okay, Councilwoman Tisdale, you had a question?
What is it currently zoned? Or?
It's zoned agricultural, and sports fields are allowed in an agricultural zone with an SUP. So that's why we're here tonight, is for the SUP.
So the recommendation would be to go ahead and grant the SUP, but for only 5 years.
That's correct. That's what Planning and Zoning recommended, was a
I've
5-year
got some-
expiration.
Yeah, that's what we.
Go ahead, please.
I've got some other questions too.
Okay.
Mayor, have we moved into the actual item?
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
we
we
had.
probably need to do that.
Yeah, I closed it, but I didn't go into it. My apologies. That's a rookie mistake. All right. So, item number 10, consider and act on a request for a specific use permit, SUP, for a sports field for approximately 9.602 acres of land described as Rangers Elite Fields Edition, Block A, Lot 1, within the city of Sanger and generally located approximately 490 feet southwest of the intersection of FM 455 and Union Hill Road. We are officially discussing the action item now.
Now I can go?
Now.
Thank you. Do they already, and it may be because that this is just different for me, do they already have their CO?
No, they don't do any CO there until once the field's under construction, we'll evaluate it then and final it, and the final will be their CO.
What about the construction that's already taken place?
They do have, I believe, an early grading permit just to grade the site, but no use on it or anything like that. They're just leveling it.
And they are using that area extensively as well?
If they're doing volunteer things on it or get-togethers, then I'm not aware of
Okay,
that.
I'm just trying to get things straight in my head.
Yeah.
That is what I needed to know.
So a couple things that just set the table. I mean, SUPs have been, we have addressed those for many years. As a reminder, the specific use permit will run with the land, and so unless you put conditions, and so there's a precedence with this council. We've always put some type of time or ownership or both. There's been conditions, not that we just when you put something that runs with the land forever, it's there forever. So there is a 5-year now. Planning and Zoning, if I'm correct, Planning and Zoning did not pass it with it. They made a recommendation to council to put a 5-year on there, correct?
They made the recommendation for approval to council with the
It is in
expiration
there?
of 5 years.
Okay, I did not see that in there. So
Yeah, I'm
that's their
sorry.
recommendation to us with a 5-year expiration.
Yes.
Who actually owns the land?
The owner on this application, Visnu, you have to,
Yeah.
Visnu Tekkalipilli? I can't pronounce that last name, but yes.
And I would ask council this, and this is just my opinion, I don't have a vote. I've always tried to take my personal feelings out of that, whether I would do that with the land or not. The fact is, the landowner, if they own the land and they want to do something, I've never had an issue with that, how a landowner wants to use their land, whether they want to build soccer fields, they want to put a building, they want to do something, they own the land, they should be able to do it. But this is something different, and they want an SUP. Now, they've given council a reason to come in and put some parameters on it if you so choose.
Let me ask, do these owners, do they have this anywhere else, any other towns?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And I think it will mainly be used as practice cricket fields, but there is a possibility they may host some games there. So I didn't want to say that. And it'll be for adult and youth.
Is 5 years enough for them to recoup their money for everything they're about to put on this?
So all they would do is come back and reapply again, and they could ask for 1 year, 5 years, or whatever, and at that time, council would decide to do that. Not uncommon.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of businesses in town that, and around town that are operating on SUPs. It's just if you do not put a timeline on it, it will always be there for that use.
Yeah. And I will tell you, other than the parking lot and the bathrooms, there's not a lot of vertical construction. It's mainly open field.
Mhm.
Well, it's definitely an attraction for Sanger because that's what we want. That's why I became a city council member, to have attractions for my grandkids and for us to do more activities here in Sanger. So,
Yeah,
it's
so
definitely an attraction.
And I'm just looking for your pleasure, and if you have questions, I'll go ahead to give you my 2 cents, and you can ask staff or the actual applicant's not here.
Can we ask the city manager, what do you?
If you have something for staff.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask me. I would caution the council. Anytime we're dealing with any zoning issues, please remember that the use is relevant only as to whether or not you believe it to be applicable to that area of request, right? You know, so you would treat these like any other athletic field that goes out there. If the council has no opposition to athletic fields in this area, that's, you know, certainly you have the ability to approve that SUP. It's at your pleasure. The use itself, those have been used, I believe those have been used as practice fields for a long time here, correct? Wasn't it baseball?
Not in this area.
It was on the other end.
Yeah, that's the other, yeah.
All right, so,
Not in this
so I mean, it's not a use that's not unknown to that area, even. So what is the principal question?
Listen, if you have no problem with an SUP for 5 years, then I would think that council would lean towards approving it. If you do not want an athletic field there, then you don't approve it. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
So I would just highly encourage there be some time limit associated with it. That's all.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I will make a motion that we deny
I'll second that.
action item number 10.
I'll second that
Yeah.
motion.
We have a motion on the table, just so I'm clear, we have a motion on the table by Councilman Gann to deny this request. And we have a second by Councilman Bolger.
Thank you, Vic.
Any other discussion?
I have a, yeah.
Go ahead.
Am I allowed to ask why he doesn't want?
Well, you didn't have to.
Hold on.
Yeah, we can caution don't.
Right. Yes.
Let me check real quick on our SUPs, because I mean, some. Yeah. I would suggest you don't discuss why you're
Okay.
denying
I can tell you
We're good.
private.
No, just, okay. We have a motion to deny the request for the SUP and a second on the table. Any other discussion? All those in favor to deny, please raise your hand. 3 deny. Those for allowing the SUP?
Allowing?
Yes.
Okay with it?
So the motion to deny carries 3-1. The motion is denied.
Thank you, council, mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 11, consideration and possible action on resolution number 2026-08, accepting the proposed property tax rate, establishing dates for public hearings on the proposed property tax rate in fiscal year 2026-2027 budget, providing for the dates for the city council to approve the property tax rate and fiscal year 2026-27 budget, and providing for publication of public hearing notices as provided by the Texas law. Clayton?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is the next step in preparing and adopting the fiscal year 26-27 budget. This resolution does set a proposed tax rate. One thing to note, and I always want to be very clear about this, once you set a proposed tax rate, council may later adopt a lower tax rate than the proposed, but you may not adopt a tax rate that is higher than the proposed. We received our certified values from Denton County Appraisal District on July 23rd. And shortly thereafter, Denton County Tax Assessor Collector provided us with a tax rate calculation worksheet. It's that wonderful 8-page multi-line calculation that's included there. We have discussed keeping a flat tax rate for several years here, so this proposed resolution is for a tax rate of 0.689747. which is a flat tax rate. It's the current of the current year and the preceding year. One interesting thing here that I did want to note this year, our average home value in what we've received from the appraisal district actually decreased slightly this year. That is the first time in several years that that's happened. Average value went from $301,298 down to $284. What that means is that if the tax rate stays the same, there may be some property owners who could have a lower tax bill this year than last year. That all depends on what their valuation and taxable value on their property are. Last, I did want to note one thing too. Last year, as we were adopting this proposed tax rate, had a council member say, we're leaving money on the table. That is a true statement. I put the other rates there for you, but just so that you know, I did a little bit of calculation here. The de minimis rate, which is the highest rate that this council could adopt, that takes current year revenues, adds 3.5%, and adds an extra $500,000 of revenue. That's only available to cities that are below 30,000 population. That rate of 0.610146 would provide an additional $401,950 tax revenue to the city. That would increase property bill on an average home over the proposed rate of $80 for a year. Second rate that we've got there, the voter approval rate. That is the rate that allows revenues flat from last year with a 3.5% increase. That rate is 0.598011. That would provide an additional $220,806 in tax revenue. That would increase the tax bill on an average home by $44. Only wanted to point these out to you. We've had a lot of things this year. We've got a lot of capital requests and had a significant rise in employee health insurance costs this year, over 20%. We've been juggling a few things around. So resolution is for the same tax rate that we currently have, but I did want to present all that information to you. And as always, this is one of the things that by state law, this requires a record vote. So the city secretary will take a record vote on this resolution.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You
No, sir.
Usually there is a very specific motion that has to be made. Is it simply approving the resolution?
Yes.
That's it?
In this case, yes.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, when we have it's the adoption of the tax rate, the adoption of the budget, and the adoption of the tax rate.
Okay. All right, because I see a lot of that in the resolution, but okay. All right. Is it open for questions?
I talked a lot about the tax rate. This also sets the date and time for public hearings for next Monday, 7 p.m. And then the adoption of the budget and the tax rate will be in 2 weeks.
Yeah, just a reminder, that was a special meeting being called. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And for you, those in the audience, the state puts very rigid requirements on us to get a budget done in a certain time period. And that's fine if we get all the information when it's due. But if we don't get certified rolls, it'll throw everything off. There simply wasn't enough time to meet the state's requirements. So we're having a special meeting so we could get both of our public hearings in, just so we're clear.
And that is primarily due to Denton County being so large, so many protests against those taxes.
Yes.
If we get the certified tax after the state calendars for having our budget draft, turned in, and all those other factors. So if we had more control over it, we wouldn't have a special meeting, but in order to comply.
Yeah. Okay. Questions from council? For staff, Clayton, anything?
So Clayton, you said if we adopt this or we do this today, like when we do the budget later on, or how does it work later on? I am new to the city council, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I don't really know how this stuff works.
Sure.
I feel like I'm over my head.
Tonight, this resolution sets a proposed tax rate.
Okay.
That says city council is considering a tax rate for 26-27 of 0.689747.
Okay.
In a week, there'll be the public hearing that the public can come speak to you on that rate. And then that night or the following week, when we adopt the budget and adopt the tax rate, you may adopt a rate that is lower than this rate if you so choose, but you cannot adopt a rate that is any higher than this rate after you set the proposed rate.
And this tonight is primarily the first. If you pass a resolution, it's really the citizens' first opportunity to see what tax rate we may be trying to get. So this is the resolution itself really gives us the authority to say this is the tax rate maximum that we all agree to right now, and then the general public can have that so that they can show up for the hearing on the 10th.
So when we approve it, we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna approve it at the voters' approval tax rate.
Tonight you're calling for the hearing primarily. The resolution is just saying, this is the tax rate we are going to consider on the 10th.
Okay.
That's what you're doing tonight.
And just on the 10th, we can't consider anything higher. We're
Right.
locking it in. This is the ceiling.
Right, I
We can
understand.
go.
Okay,
So,
but we're gonna pick one from this list.
no, we're picking the,
6-8, you're picking the flat.
Okay, okay.
yes, he put the others up there.
But what you're doing tonight is you're primarily just calling for the hearing and you're setting the hearing information so they know what tax rate is being discussed.
And that's what's going to be official for the citizens to comment on in the public hearings. So,
So this
No.
commits you to the hearing at a rate no more than that.
yeah. So in case anyone is a budget nerd, kind of like me, I mean, staff starts this in January and work through June, and then they start bringing council in, and we get many, many work sessions and a workshop on budget stuff to see all of their work and have an idea of what to consider. And this is the recommendation from staff that covers all the needs, everything else, and still tries to maintain a certain, council had a precedent of keeping, there was 1 year it went up, but it's been level. We're trying to maintain that so we don't have big jumps. Anyway, so, and I realize that you came in on the tail end of the budget
Yes.
session, but now this is the first step to actually give the public an official number to come and talk to us about.
Okay.
Council, is there any other discussion? If not, then what's your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve action item number 11 as presented.
That's an easy way to get out of that one, isn't it? Yeah. So we have a motion by Councilman Gann. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Burris. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Oh, wait, this is a roll call vote. Okay, City Secretary will take it from here.
Councilmember Burris, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Gann, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Bolter, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Tisdale, how do you vote?
Yes.
Madam Secretary, you have what you need? Then I will proceed. Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
I know, and thank, hey, Clayton, and thank you. That's been consumed your life for the last 6 months, and I appreciate you simplifying it. I think you get better at that every year, because I'm starting to understand it.
Almost time to start again.
All right. And Mr. City Manager, thank you for your staff and all the work they put in. Okay. The next item was future agenda items. Does anyone have anything to recommend future agenda? Okay, just a reminder that special meeting is next Monday, 7 p.m. right here. All right, please, we do need everyone there for that. Any other future agenda items? Let's see. Stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. So we will get with staff and some of the items that were brought up tonight. We'll see if there's either a way or something to get information out, whether that's a workshop or some town hall or something, just to communicate what we're doing, why we did it, and bring people in. Okay. So we'll get with staff and see if we can get something scheduled.
We noted all the comments tonight.
Perfect. All right. Not seeing anything. The next item is just information items. Any questions for staff? If not, and not seeing anything else on the agenda, we'll adjourn at 8:33.